conversation as we're learning new information about the executive order for President Donald Trump, as he is offering all federal workers a buyout with 7 months' pay in an effort to shrink the size of the government. I want to put this up here on Live Now, Fox and Associated Press. Breaking news.
Get y'all's asses back to work.
This buyout to potentially reduce the deficit, as the White House on Tuesday began offering buyouts worth 7 months of salary to all federal employees who opt to leave their jobs by January the 6th. This is a part of Trump's unprecedented overhaul of this, the U.S.
Get y'all's ass back to work.
The Office of Personnel Management, the government's Human Resources Agency list.
Get y'all's ass back to work.
Mandating for the federal workforce, including that most.
Welcome. This is Lord of Lips, your host on the No Else page with another installment, another live stream, episode 24. And as you guys briefly heard, I'm going to wait for people to get in the chat a little bit, but as you guys briefly heard, another mandate from the Trump administration. And I was talking a little bit about this earlier, ironically enough. I didn't know it was going to be the topic of conversation tonight, but looks like Trump is giving federal employees ultimatum tonight. And the ultimatum being that if you don't want to take your fat, lazy, tax milking ass back into that office and actually do some work, then you can accept severance pay. You can accept a buyout. They're offering, I think, a 6-month or severance package that's leading up to, looks like September, they said. You have until February 6th to accept this deal. This could lay off hundreds of thousands of federal workers. This is excluding military and military members, but other federal workers and stuff has now been offered. If you don't want to take your fat, funky ass back into that office with a boss, with somebody supervising you over, so you're not laying around, rolling over, putting people on hold so you can finish your Call of Duty match or you can finish your scrambled eggs and pancakes. If you don't want to roll out of bed, get in the shower, dry your hair, dry your body, put one sock on. I usually put the right sock on first, or your right sock on, then your left sock on, and then your underwear, or however you go about doing it. People in the comments is probably going to be all up on my ass. But brushing your teeth, shaving, doing your makeup, putting a tie on, putting on casual clothes or professional clothes, attire, warming up your car, putting your heat seat warmers on, letting it run for a few minutes, driving 15 to 20 to 30 minute commutes, even hour commutes for some people, to work, to be supervised by your boss. Then take your lazy ass on down to Social Security or to the social office and collect that severance pay. That's the ultimatum. Here's the thing that everybody got to understand. We may not like Trump's policies and shit, but I love a person that means what he says and says what he means. Can y'all hear me? Is my mic on? Let's make sure the mic is on. I don't know if everybody can hear me real good. Let's see. Is the mic on? Microphone check. We'll have to see about that. But the point of the matter is that Trump ain't playing games with you. Trump ain't playing games with y'all. Y'all voted for this, and this is what y'all's going to get. And we're so far removed. I mean, we're so not used to an administration doing what they promised. Trump promised hell. Y'all thought, what do y'all think? Do you guys think that in order to get this country straight, in order to get this country's finances back on track, in order to cut into our deficit, in order for us to be trade surplus, in order for all these things, in order for wars to stop, in order for the federal budget, the budget, annual budget spending to decrease. Do you guys think that it's all going to be kumbaya? Do you guys think that like people's feathers aren't going to be ruffled? Do you guys think that people aren't going to be rubbed the wrong way? Now, I'm not saying Trump is the guy that's going to do all these things. I'm just saying that when these things do come, if they ever come, it's going to shake shit up. And that's what's happening right now. Shit is being shaken up. We'll talk about ICE and the deportations and the immigration policies and yada, yada, yada. Everybody's all up in arms about that. But, the topic of conversation today is mainly surrounding the federal spending halt, the federal freeze that is going on currently right now. And this constitutes as a lot of federal agencies. And again, for people out there, I just played the clip. If you don't want to get your fat, lazy ass back into work, if you don't want to roll out of bed and go back into work and you're a federal employee being paid from our tax dollars, Trump and his team said collect some severance pay. Collect 6 months severance pay. 7 months, whatever it is. You get paid up until September. Okay? But they're cleaning house. They already did away with the DEI hires and all the all the constructs that constitutes people being protected under the law for certain hires and stuff like that. They've done away with that. So, but this is what is to be expected and what we suspected. I just don't understand. And maybe it's the other half of the country that didn't vote for the crazy fucker that is acting all shocked by it. But I mean, for the people that voted for it or knew what Trump was about, I don't think it's that shocking. The one thing with this administration so far is that they're not apologies is not in the repertoire right now. They're not apologizing for these things. I watched a briefing earlier today with his press secretary, and then I also watched the briefing of the border czar a couple of days ago. Same thing, same sentiment all down the line. There's no apologies. We told you guys when we got into office, we were going to see the largest mass deportation ever recorded in the history. And that's what we're seeing. I mean, we're at the beginning stages of that. So that's what we're seeing. Now we get the DEI cuts. Now they get the federal freeze. And I made a status earlier today. Let me log into my Facebook. I made a status earlier today about this because a lot of people are misinterpreting this federal freeze and wondering if they're going to be able to get their kids some high C and get their kids their little snacks and all that stuff. And is it going to affect your SNAP benefits and your WIC and all of these things? And that is not what this federal freeze is about. This federal freeze is that Trump is infiltrating Washington right now, and he is making cuts. Guys, I've said on this channel plenty of times, over and over till I was blue in the face, that Trump is coming in like anybody that takes over a company, and they're looking at the budget, they're looking at the profit and loss statements, they're looking at the balance sheets, they're looking at all of these indicators and factors and seeing where they can cut. And again, I'll say this again, if you don't want to get your fat, lazy ass out of bed and go to work like the other 200 million Americans in this country, if you don't want to do that, then take the severance pay and go on about your day. But Trump and his administration wants all federal employees back into office. A lot of people went hybrid or virtual, during the pandemic, and we just kind of stayed that way. So I know a few people that work for the government that kind of, do 3 days on, 2 days off, or 4 days on, 1 day off, and they get to sit at a home and kind of, do it virtual and stuff, which is all cool and raw. I would love that ability to do that. But the Trump administration is actually trying to make federal cuts, and they know him forcing people back into office is going to allow people to take the severance pay and the severance package. And a lot of people are going to quit and be done with it in general. So that's what's going on with that. But again, news out of Washington is that if you don't want to get your fat, lazy ass up and go to work and you are a federal employee, you can either do one or two things. Get your fat, lazy ass up and go to work, or accept this severance package. They'll pay you up until September. So that's that. Now, as far as the food stamps and the SNAP benefits and WIC and fast financial aid and all that, that is not being cut. That is fake news. I shouldn't even have to say. You guys should read. You guys should read more. This is clearly a stick up. To Washington and our overspending of our federal budget. That is what is going on. We spend. So they are freezing all the federal spending. They are freezing any aid to foreign nations to see where the cuts can be made. So that is what's going on. Now, this is actually going to result in, there's going to be more fallout for this. I mean, you guys are complaining and shit now, but wait until they actually start finding out where to make the cuts and cutting actual budgets and shit. But they're firing. He's just going to fire a lot of people. You know, what we know Donald Trump, before we knew him as a politician, we knew him as an entertainer. And as an entertainer, we know his favorite thing to do or say was, "You're fired." And that's what's going on here. He's just getting rid of unnecessary spending and unnecessary people. So again, to my viewers out there, anybody that knows anybody that works for the government or anything, y'all gotta roll out of bed. Y'all gotta roll out of bed, wipe the crud out of your eyes, start the car, wash your ass, brush your teeth, put your socks on, put your drawers on, maybe do a little shaving, a little, all of that, and then head on, enjoy your commute to work. Turn on the radio, listen to whatever station you like to listen to, or you get your morning news. Go get your cup of coffee and get your ass back to work. Yep. Shane says, take y'all's lazy asses back to work. Period. Big T ain't having it. No. And this is where I agree with the man, because how you gonna say, on one hand, we're $36 trillion in debt, and then you got all these motherfuckers in Washington, you got all these federal employees and shit who ain't doing shit, who's just making all of this money off of tax dollars and off of our annual spending budget, but they ain't doing shit. Y'all ain't even got no boss. Shane said, ICE hard at work, so y'all will be too. Exactly. Everybody gonna get to work. Everybody gonna get a taste of this. But trust me, guys, this man did not stop nobody's food stamps and their SNAP benefits. We know that white people, like Dave Chappelle said, we know that white people is reliant on the welfare system. That ain't no minority thing. We know that the white people are relying on the welfare system. That is not being taken away. Everybody's going to get your food stamps. Everybody calm down. This is what happens. This is actually essentially what happens. You guys blow shit out of proportion and attack misinformation or whatever you want to call it. And then when actual shit that be going on that needs to be addressed is going on, you guys just know where to be found. Y'all half-ass backwards. And that's why I said, y'all might as well just subscribe to my channel, and I can go through the documents for y'all, and we can read it line by line, step by step, since you guys have extreme comprehension problems. Here, let's see. People are still going on mad at me because I fucking told the truth. Oh well, y'all need to learn how to read. I'm sick of it. I was sick of it in school grades, and I'm sick of it today. We too damn old for y'all to just be not reading. You know what I'm saying? It don't take that long to read and see what's actually going on. And shit, get some information. There's so much information out there, you can get it from anywhere. You don't even need a book today. There's so much information out there, you can get it from anywhere. So, yeah, that's essentially that. But a topic to be had outside of this, or I mean, regarding this is how's everybody surviving Trump's first week? I mean, this man is on a manic. He's on a tear. I mean, I'm trying to think of. I mean, there's so much shit that he's shaking up. And here's the thing. Trump's first term in office. And I think we spoke of this on this platform here. Trump's first term in office, he was learning Washington. He was learning the swamp, per se. He was learning all the ins and outs. He had never been a politician before. He had obviously never been in the White House or been in any executive position like that, as far as politics goes and governmental bodies. So he was learning that. And I think along the way, he made tons of fucking dumb decisions, tons of mistakes and stuff like that. But now we have a man possessed. We have, I coined this early on last year. I said it was his Machiavelli year. It was his, I got shot 5 times. I'm out of jail. Fuck y'all. It's up for everybody. And Trump is on a war path. He's literally on a war path. Y'all is not about to stop this man. He gonna turn y'all every way but loose. And Shane says, yep. And he's asking everyone up there. It's get down or lay down time in the big house. Exactly. And he has the administration to do it. He has the teams backing him. He has the House backing him. And that's why we're seeing so much of this stuff going into place so quickly and all these executive orders coming down so quickly. We know that he signed many executive orders. Let's look up the executive orders Mr. Donald J. Trump signed. Donald Trump's executive orders 2025. We know that judge blocked some. Let's see. He signed 3 executive orders. Let's see if we can find them. I got a raccoon in my fucking ceiling. Bear with me, guys. See if anybody. See what they got to say. If CNN, here's the problem with CNN. They think somebody's gonna pay for their little newspaper. Ain't nobody paying for that shit. Shane says, but he really just throwing shit at a wall right now, seeing what sticks. A lot of that Project 2025 shit won't go through. I disagree. I think that so far, this to me is exactly. I have to be honest. This is exactly what he promised on the campaign trails. So I feel like he don't. I feel like he's not the delusional one in this situation. I feel like the only people that may be delusional in this situation is if you voted for Trump and you believe you believe that he's doing something that he said he wasn't going to do. Essentially, to me, on this campaign trail and stuff, so far, the shit that he was promising is what he is putting into order. Now, the conversation needs to be veered to, I think there's more conversation to be had about how he's doing it. I think a lot of people may have a problem with how he's doing it. But so far, the release, the JFK files, the MLK files, he did speak on the drones. I think today we'll talk about that. That was a crock of bullshit. Shane says, I think he's just seeking headlines right now. Do you? Give me your perspective on that. Branding time. I don't know. I really don't know about that. I thought it was funny. A situation with the Colombian prime minister or president in Colombia, that whole situation, that spit for spat, and Trump saying that we were going to do 25 to 50% tariffs on all goods that they import to us. And that changed that story real quick. I don't think so, Shane. I think he's dead serious. Now, one thing that he is, the tree that he's gonna get shot in his fucking head, guys. I'm sorry, he's gonna get shot in his head. One thing that he is entertaining is, well, two things. The ERS, the External Revenue Service, really holding. So he's looking to collect taxes. He's looking to collect money outward for our other nations. Shane says, no, I think he's dead serious too. But I'm just saying he's just trying to cross off all his promises in week one. I see. Yeah, I could agree with that. I could agree with that. Or I could see that. I could see that because he is doing a lot of shit so far. And it's like, whoa, slow down. Let us kind of breathe on one of these things. You know, you got the JFK files being released here soon. The MLK files being released here soon. You got a slew of things. The DEI situation, the immigration and ICE chasing people like the slave catchers and shit. It's all types of shit going on. So, yeah, a lot of shit going on within his first week. I think we're exactly a week in today, essentially. Shane says it's like drinking water from a water hose right now, for sure. Hard to see what he misses on. Yeah, for sure. But the ERS and the abolishment of the IRS and taxes in general, which we talked about on here a few months ago, or maybe a month ago or so. Which you guys, obviously, if you watch my channel, you know I'm in full support of. I don't want to hear, oh, how are we going to fund these services? How are we going to figure it the fuck out? I don't know all the hard details and shit like that, but we don't even got to go down this fucking rabbit hole or this hallway again. But we were never meant to be paying taxes like that. That was the whole fucking point of us, not us, them being here in the first place. But and they just increasingly gone up and up and up and up and up and up. So I'm with Trump on that I don't think it's a billionaire, trillionaire thing. I can give a fuck. I can give a rat's ass. Yeah, they need to pay their fair share. Yeah, there shouldn't be people out here with $436 billion that have a spaceship and a rocket and AI and all that shit when there's people starving. Yes, the balance of power is extremely, extremely, extremely unbalanced. However, that's the game that y'all created. And I do think that to penalize those people instead of looking at the federal spending, in which we do. Yeah, I don't think it's as simple as rich don't want to pay taxes. What do you mean by that, Shane? Because if you're saying what I'm thinking, I agree is that, you know, for a long time, I was just like, yeah, I mean, they need to pay their fair share. But we all know corporations and businesses is going to find a loophole just as well as anybody else is trying to find a loophole in their taxes. The point of the matter is that we do all that bickering among, like they need to pay their fair share. They need to pay their fair share. Everybody point finger on who needs to pay this and taxes and this and that, and that. No. They just said, I watched a briefing and $50 million of our tax dollars was getting ready to go to Gaza for the research on like condoms for Gazans or something like that. Something to do with condoms in Gaza. Shane said, yeah, I'm agreeing with you. Like the water cooler conversation is the rich just don't want to pay. That's just not true. Agreed. It's like nobody wants to fucking pay. That's the truth. Nobody wants to pay. And the people that should be paying, it's like how do I put this? It'd be like, I gotta reach for, I'm gonna come down with a horrible analogy. A horrible analogy. It's almost like you having a personal investor. You have a personal investor, so you are giving the funds to your personal investor. It's their job to do the job and invest in your portfolio, yada, yada, yada. You know, they know the ins and outs. They're supposed to find the great investments depending on your plan. Do you want to do risky investments, conservative investments, whatever the case may be? But it's almost like you forking money over to that investor and you not getting no return. That's essentially what our government has done with their spending and our tax dollars. It's not a matter of who needs to pay the taxes or not. We need to start looking at the fact of who's spending the tax dollars, period. It's like, who's spending this tax dollars and where the fuck are y'all spending it? And I think last year was a very eye-opening year for all Americans across this nation, just to see them fork over billions and billions and billions of dollars in foreign aid to different wars that we did not agree with. Meanwhile, we were faced with catastrophe after catastrophe, and we were tapping our pockets, pulling lint out of our pockets, wondering where we would come up with dimes and nickels to help people. Insert brackets. Happy birthday to the legend. Yeah, that's a good segue. Yeah, shout out to J. Cole. Happy 40th birthday to Jermaine Cole. That's an old ass man. And Shane's going to try to stop me here, but I now forgive him for bowing out of the beef. I did not realize he was 39 years old last year. I've kept up with the big three and yada, yada, yada. I'm pretty sure Drake's like 38, 37, 38. I did not know J. Cole was the oldest out of them, and I did not know he was approaching 40. 40 is fucking crazy. 40 is crazy. So to sit around and rap beef with a nigga at 40, that's not what I want to be doing at 40. So I'll leave it at that. Happy birthday to Jermaine Cole. 40 is crazy. 40 is so crazy. 40 is a crazy age, man. But yeah, we just need to continue to look at the spending of our tax dollars instead of pointing the fingers at each other, knowing that we're all playing the same game. You know, it's like when you're playing Monopoly and, you know, everybody's kind of trying to do the same thing and trying to find the loopholes in Monopoly and get around Broadway and Parkwood or whatever the other blue square is. Everybody's trying to, you know, it's all the same scheme. It's all a Monopoly. It's all a function. It's all its own thing. So sometimes, you know, when the game is rigged, you know, the game is rigged to where it forces you to collapse onto each other and attack each other at the rigged game instead of figuring out that, like, hey, why don't we just, like, you know, flip the whole table over and change the whole rules to the game, because the game is rigged and it's not rigged in our favor. They just spend too much. I've seen, like I said, $50 million in maybe $500 million. I think it was $50 million, maybe $500 million. Don't quote me on that. On something dumb with condoms. Billions of dollars in some other sort of dumb research that we do. It's just overspending in countless areas. And that is why federal aid is being frozen right now, guys. Now y'all can make me a villain and say I'm supporting Trump and shit like that. No, I support common sense policies. And in fact, you know, this needed to be done by anybody. You know, it shouldn't take Donald Trump to challenge the constituents in Washington. It shouldn't take him to do that. You know, all the previous administrations should have been barking up this tree and or looking up this dress and seeing, why do we spend $50 million on research and development of dumb shit that we do? Like, and then we continuously dig ourselves a bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger hole with our deficit. That just never made sense to me. And what it is that when these federal companies and stuff get these annual budgets, you know, they're told, and they make sure that they spend every single dime of that federal budget, even if they know within that company that they can make cuts and that they don't need to. Obviously, if you give a federal company $50 million, they're going to milk all $50 million, pay all their employees, buy unnecessary shit. They're going to make sure, because what they do, if you don't spend that, you know, if you don't spend that budget, then when they do their evaluations and stuff of the annual budget and stuff, they're going to cut back. They're going to roll back on your budget, because, like, okay, we gave you a $50 million budget. You only needed $47 million of it, you know, so we're going to make some cuts. That's just common sense, right? We know that. So, you know, it's in their best interest to spend the whole $50 million, and sometimes they spend it stupidly. There's a lot of that going on in this nation. So a federal freeze. None of you motherfuckers should be getting paid. I'm not talking about the workers that work, for the government and stuff. But I'm saying like the federal salaries and shit up in Washington, all that shit needs to be frozen. If all that shit gets frozen, like it is for 90 days, we gonna come to the table and we gonna figure shit out. If you want results and stuff like that, put a pause on the spending, put a pause on the money, and shit's gonna get figured out. I can assure you that. Now you guys got to bear with me. I didn't do much reading. I had no reading or anything like that before this episode. I just kind of came down here, messed with my horrible set. It's all fucked up in the back. I don't care. And I kind of just turned on my camera and I'm just going off the top. So bear with me here. But yeah, Trump is essentially rolling with the iron fist at this point. He's not taking no for an answer, and apology is not even in his foresight. I mean, he don't even know the first few letters of apology right now. All of his team is following suit, which, I mean, at this point, you have to say that at least that's a little bit commendable, that they're all doubling down, and in the face of backlash and stuff to a lot of these executive orders or the direction that they're going in, they're facing a lot of backlash. Shane says, and Iran. Not sure what that means. Y'all want to talk some football real quick? Who wants to talk some football? Or do we want to talk about the ChatGPT AI shit? Because China ain't playing around, man. China is not playing around. Oh, Shane said no. No, I said he's starting wars. Yes, Shane loves tech wars. I don't know what's up with that. Why do you love tech wars so much? China ain't playing around. That's first and foremost. And here we are again in a situation to where, well, I'm so conflicted on this. I'm so conflicted on this in so many different ways because the open AI situation, we talked about it last episode with Sam Altman and Elon Musk going at it. So we got some fighting going on in-house over AI. And then we know we invested the $500 billion into the Stargate infrastructure. But China comes right on out at the top of the week, and Deepseek just absolutely takes over. It fucks up the market. Let's actually look into this. No, I said he's starting wars. Yes, tech wars and Iran. What's going on in Iran? I'm not sure what's going on in Iran right now. Deepseek. Oh, Lord. Here's the thing. Here's all I got to say while I look this up, guys. We're at the start. I say it all the time. Can anybody see this? We're at the start of one of those movies. He's trying to steal Greenland and give it to his friend. Oh, a whole country. Oh. Is that what's going on? Is that what's going on, Mr. Trump? Mr. Orange Man? I can't believe YouTube. I really can't believe y'all banned y'all literally copyrighted my last video. It was a good fucking episode, and I played a little bit of music in it. Like, I can't even believe y'all did that. I'm still looking, guys. I don't give a fuck. Funny thing is, I had downloaded this app, and I'm not too wild. I'm not too wild. U.S. Navy bans use of Deepseek due to security and ethical concerns. Let's read this. The U.S. Navy issues a warning to its members to avoid Deepseek in any capacity due to the potential security and ethical concerns. The warning was sent out Friday as a buzz about Chinese artificial intelligence startup was picking up across the tech industry. The email instructed all team members do not use Deepseek for any work-related tasks or personal use. The U.S. Navy has instructed its members to view, we just read that. Excuse me. The announcement followed Deepseek's release of its powerful new reasoning AI model called R1, which rivals technology from OpenAI. The Deepseek model is open source, meaning any AI developer can use it. The Deepseek app has surged to the top. This is where it gets messy. It surged to the top of Apple's App Store, dethroning OpenAI, ChatGPT, and people in the industry have praised it for performance and reasoning capabilities. Deepseek's pronouncements rocked the capital markets on Monday due to concerns that future AI products will require less expensive infrastructure than Wall Street has assumed. DeepSeek said in late December that its large language model took only 2 months and less than $6 million to build, despite the U.S. curbing chip exports to China 3 times in 3 years. That's a tiny fraction of the amount spent by OpenAI, Anthropic, Google, and others. Shares of AI chip makers each dropped 17% on Monday. So it fucked up the market big time. It's fucking up the market big time. It's fucking up the money. Shane says for his buddy to use as a toy country, ? Yeah, the whole Greenland thing. I think it's a negotiating tactic. I mean, now if I put on my tinfoil hat and stuff like that, we've heard that Greenland has maybe some bases or maybe some stuff up there that is very important. So as the clock ticks faster, there's a race to require Greenland. And I think there's news out of the Panama Canal actually going on right now. I was seeing it before I clicked on live here. Let's see. But so how do we feel about DeepSeek versus OpenAI? Which one do we use? Is this fucking up business? Is it Trump said the sudden rise of DeepSeek should be a wake-up call for American tech companies. Trump is currently trying to keep Chinese social media app TikTok alive in the U.S. after law. See, Trump is all about that. This is going to be a mess. This is just going to be a mess. This is going to be a mess. Venture capitalist David Sachs, we know David Sachs, Trump's AI and crypto czar, posted on X on Monday that DeepSeek R1 shows that the AI race will be very competitive. Man, this is going to lead to bad things, guys. This is going to lead to bad things. Anytime I hear space race and intelligence race, technology race, AI race, all that shit just means that one country trying to outdo another. And here's the thing. China is decades ahead of us in their technology. Decades. Shane says the narrative needs to be told right. Our American company was supposed to have the head and shoulders lead on AI production, like not even close. Let me read that again. And of course they don't. China wrote this out so briefly and so low key and showed the data. What Drake said in No Face, numbers untouchable, they got the data wrong. That's what China did. They already put on a drone show a few months ago. We were told during that situation that China's drone technology was literally decades ahead of ours. They got the chips. China is just decades ahead of us when it comes to engineering and technology. So here we go with surrounding, going to go pick this person up from here and pick this person up from here. We got Zuckerfish. We got Sam Altman. We got Elon, Apartheid Musk. And we're battling these nations that have been, but it's juicy, my eyes. But it's juicy because China dry snitched. They have said that allegedly they have 50,000 NVIDIA chips, but that breaks the exporting ban we put on them. So the question you should be asking is, how did they get American-made chips? Hold on. See, I'm not up to date on what's going on here. Let me read this again and interpret what you're saying. With juicy and shiny and dry snitch. Well, what do you suspect, Shane? Do you suspect some double crossing? Let's read this. Let's read the Associated Presses about this. Let's read this. Okay, let me go back to the live. Get American-made chips. Yeah. Well, could they be working? Is this an American manufacturing company? It says they're facing a reckoning as Chinese upstarts raises question about Wall Street's darling, which they are Wall Street's darling. Could they be working with or for China? Is that what is being alleged with this? I'm not familiar. They are confirmed. Okay. So essentially, we got to figure out either if this trade ban was being broke or if they are working with our rivals. But that all came to a screeching halt Monday, at least for the moment, after Chinese upstart called Deepseek said it had developed a large language model that could perform like ChatGPT and other U.S. rivals, but using far less computing power. Here's a look at how we all got to this point. So we know that's Silicon Valley there. Oh, okay. Google's Gemini AI chatbots like ChatGPT. Oh Lord, it's all above my head. Here's the thing. I don't know what's going on with all that. All I know is we're heading into the wrong direction with that. Shane said, read that. Read the AP press on it. It keeps making me want to accept this. Hold on. No, what I typed above. Oh, but it's juicy because China dry snitch. They have said that allegedly. I already read that. Yeah, I already read that. I just don't know what it means. I don't even know what any of this means. I genuinely don't even know what it means. Essentially, what I can gather from it, literally right above, read that. Oh, you're saying they're confirmed chips. So for Deepseek, they have confirmed chips. I don't know what you're saying. I don't even know what it means. Is it not showing you on your screen? No. I mean, I see where you said that they have confirmed chips, and that's it. China said they knew they would be banned eventually. I need you to tell me. I have no idea what any of this means. So they was keeping a secret stockpile. Well, good. What does this mean? That's what I need to know. What does any of this mean? I know we just invested $500 billion into something that China just like toyed with us and basically said, y'all can throw y'all's $500 billion down the drain because it don't mean anything. That's what I want He said, I don't know yet. That's what I want to find out. So they was keeping a secret stockpile. So is China toying with us? Is that what I'm getting? Is that what I'm hearing? That China's toying with us again? And what are we going to do about it? And am I just beating a dead horse and saying that I cannot believe that we are even entertaining this idea? I can't even believe we're in this situation. Oh, D Hunt posted it on his story. Let's see. Stock plummets nearly $600 billion. Oop, let's go back. Oop, not her. $600 billion, marking the largest single day loss in stock market history. How'd you do today on, Shane, how are you doing with your situation? Are you making money off of your situation there? How's that looking? I got a couple $100 I want to put into that. Good. That doesn't affect me. That's what Shane says, that it doesn't affect him. Different market. Okay. Well, I need to read more into this because I'm so confused. I'm not so confused. I understand the gist of it. But I'm not understanding. Well, there's a couple of things that I was saying at the top that I was a little bit confused about when it comes to this. And yes, read up and double back because it's a lot of stuff going on. That's stocks. Tell me essentially, I need you to tell me essentially what you are gathering from this. Like, what is the overall arching thing? Do we need to go put hands and feet up over on GGP? Is that what I'm hearing? Is this another bullying tactic that they're doing? Is this another display of their strong might? Because they've been showing strong force and strong might to us for the last 6 years. They sent over a fucking biological warfare out of the Wuhan lab. Then they sent a spy balloon over here. And then they sent drones over here. Then they've been bullying. I'm saying something just happened and I need to see how Trump reacts. But him saying we have to step our game up or whatever, I just smell something. I mean, I think that Trump has gotten in bed with, I mean, he's obviously all in on the tech race. You always we coined it the tech wars. He's all in on it. Obviously, like I said, we know the investment last week and stuff. But I think here's my overall gist and what I was trying to get to. I think that you got dinosaur politicians dealing with new emerging. What did they just call this in the Associated Press? Let me see here. What's the word I'm looking for? Aha. You got dinosaur politicians dealing with new emerging industrial revolution. And that never turns out good. This is about as good as having George Washington show you how to use Google. Or, Donald Trump is in bed. And I'm not saying Donald Trump is a smart man. Okay, hold on. Let me be thorough with one message. Go ahead. I'll put it together. Okay, please and thank you. Because I need overall sentiments on it so I can start. I mean, once I read into it and get contrasting reports and information and stuff, I'll be able to come up with my own gist on how I'm interpreting it or what I see. But I didn't have the time today. I haven't really read. I've seen the news about it, and I haven't gotten a chance to really read anything. So I was only confused a little bit about the overall sentiment that just our politicians getting in bed with these tech companies. Again, I've said this time and time again here. just like in the movies, guys, when we give this power, when we let tech companies and the Elon Musk and Sam Altman's and the Stargate infrastructure and the AI Chat GPT race, when we let that kind of put its tentacles over our politics and they kind of infiltrate politics and stuff, that's a very, very, very slippery slope. Very, very slippery slope. Who I've always said this. What are the checks and balances in our governmental body when you have new emerging technology? Like, what are the real checks and balances between Elon Musk creating Neuralink, something that maybe he and his staff and his team only understand? Now, granted, you got other scientists and stuff like that out there that could probably, tell you the realm of which these creators are creating at and how to, go around certain stuff. But it just gives them so much power because eventually, these tech companies and these tech people are going to be able to create something that we are not going to have an answer to. And when that does happen, where are the checks and balances? There's going to be no checks and balances. So that's really my overall sentiment, and why it's so alarming is that we're just heading down that direction, to me, so blindly. And I don't even know if we're doing it blindly. I think we might be doing it with our eyes wide open or our eyes wide shut. I don't know. But I do know that I feel like it should be more of a topic of conversation about if we want to head in that direction. I can't stress it enough. I just would think that something so vital, something so definite like this, the emergence of artificial intelligence and our merging with artificial intelligence, is something that I would imagine would be more of a we would be facing more of a pushback, and I think that will come, but I think it comes when it's too late. I don't think. And granted, I mean, you can make the case that already happened with the invention of the smartphones and all of these things. So I mean, but I thought it was a little bit creepy when we started barking up the tree with Alexa into the house and the Siri thing. I mean, we all knew where this was headed, or at least I did. It never stops there. It never stops there. You always, create off that same will, and it create. I mean, it keeps on progressing and progressing and progressing and progressing. And maybe that is just evolution. Maybe that is just evolution. And I understand that philosophy, but I'm just fundamentally a firm believer in that there is a line too far that we can go. And I think that you want to have that kind of technology and knowledge and information to help assist us, but not to render us or handicap us as far as humanity is concerned. And I think that the level in which we are merging with artificial intelligence is going to be, or at some fraction, it is at the cost of humanity, like parts of the human experience. When you get into talking about, this artificial intelligence is going to be able to, detect cancer, and it can do it like 48 hours before. All of this stuff that they're talking about that this AI is going to be able to do, it is very troublesome. It's very worrisome. Shane is probably typing out a long message. Boy, I hope I'm ready to read it. Let's see. I'm reading. Fuck y'all. Yeah, I'm still reading. I'm waiting for Shane's message to come in, and I don't know. I'm kind of. If you think ICE is out to arrest so-called illegal immigrants, you really need to think again. For those of us that are from the children of slaves in this country, the ultimate goal is to come after us, black, brown, and red people, particularly. Now, Trump hates him some Mexicans, guys. Trump hates him some Mexicans. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta keep it 100 with y'all. I'm tired as fuck. I love this stream, but I done got sleepy as fuck. So, oh Lord, fans believe Kai Cenat is hinting at a possible stream of Kendrick Lamar after saying, "Oh, you already seen that." No, God, please, Kendrick, that's gonna be the first wrong thing you've done. All right, let me read what Shane says here. And everyone knows what shook the market up was that China said they essentially replaced ChatGPT, our bread and butter AI, with a startup company, Deepseek Easy. That is telling. And lastly, when they went out of their way to say it only took them $6 million to do it, and it's taken us billions and years. So I don't have a full answer to why they did that. Abruptly, I just know that the fact that they did drop that means something to someone. And they also wanted it to be known that they have a lot more, pronounce that word for me, got it, chips than we thought they did, because legally they aren't supposed to. This was supposed to be read first. Look, let me tell y'all, the tech segment on this channel, Shane said whatever, I don't care. The tech segment, it ain't coming through. Shane's big message apparently isn't coming through. He's frustrated. I want him to just get on here and say, fuck GGP. Fuck GGP. Or say fuck, I want him to say fuck Zuckerberg. I think we're all in two steps that it's fuck Zuckerberg. I think everybody's upset with Zuckerberg. The tech wars is above my head, and that's what is so scary about it to me, is that above my head. I'm more of a I can get into the principality of things and just see where things are headed, or potentially where they could be headed. Now, all I could tell you guys is a lot of good is going to come out of the emergence of AI. A lot of good is going to come out of the emergence of AI. It's going to assist us and stuff. But the fundamental bad that is going to come out of AI is going to be more costly than any of the good that comes from it. Now, we may not be able to see this. I won't be able to prove this on paper. But just like with the use of cell phones and stuff like that, now everybody's complaining, or all these decades into it, and everybody's complaining about the family structure, the family dynamic, and attention spans, and yada 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 yada, which are all principles of the human experience that are long gone, and that is at the use of a handheld device, which is supposed to assist us into our day-to-day experience, but we then rely on it. And as you know, the story goes, same thing's going to happen with AI. Once we go down this path, there's no turning back. Once you, once you're able to, use artificial intelligence to, cover some of the labor workforce, there's no going back. There's no going back. Who will go back? So, we're going to have to accept this emergence for better or worse. And again, I think that is what's on the table, and that's what needs to be the conversation, is the fact that do we agree with that? Do we want to accept the emergence of AI for better or worse? Or is everybody still in la la land? Is everybody's head just on the for better part? Or is everybody's head just on the for worse part? Am I just one of those people that's just thinking about the negative? Is this just my pessimistic side kicking in? I don't think that it's. I don't think that it's. What's the word I'm looking for? It's not concrete on either side. You're going to get good and bad. You get good and bad out of the use of the telephone. You get good and bad out of the use of vehicles. But I just think that we've had these. We've had enough experience in this realm with other forms of technology, other things that we've used in our evolution to assist humanity. And I think at this point we can weigh the pros and cons of it. And I don't see that conversation being had enough. I turn on the news and nobody's having a principled conversation about the emergence of AI. Nobody's having a spirituality conversation about it. Nobody's having a morality conversation about it. Nobody's having a humane conversation about it. Everybody's kind of talking about the tech wars. To Shane's point, everybody's kind of talking about the fundamental principles of it, how it's going to work, the cost effectiveness of it, the emergence of it, who's producing it, where it's being produced at, the trade. All of those things are being the conversation that you see surrounded by AI. But, we'll get to think pieces by the independent people and the independent thinkers and stuff. We'll get to think pieces. We'll get the conspiracies and stuff. But I'm just saying, from an overall sentiment, I would imagine that we would get something on 60 Minutes, or we would get something on CNN, Fox News, all of these big platforms that typically cover these kind of stories. Even on, podcasts, I think we get brief kind of like little slap happy jokes about the emergence of AI and stuff. But I can't see, or I have not ran into like a real good meat and potatoes fundamental conversation, maybe sitting across from Sam Altman. And I know he sat with Joe Rogan like last year or something, and I watched the episode. Might watch it again. And I believe Joe kind of pushed back and asked him some of those questions and stuff. Shane said, yeah, Tech Wars isn't getting the right coverage at all, because like I said, you have to dig in all the nooks and crannies for sure. And they're acting like this artificial intelligence is this, like they're rolling it out as if it's like just the new iPhone. Everybody's acting like it's common ground and like it's just like well-known information. Meanwhile, we got 60 and 70-year-old parents and stuff, which I talked about it last episode. I know that they're not looking out for, the betterment of 60 and 70-year-olds. But, we got people like that exist in this world, 40 and 50-year-olds that that's not a part of their everyday life. Now, if you ask a teenager or definitely a college student, they're pretty familiar with ChatGPT and all of these things, and they're pretty familiar and up to date and kind of acquiescing to the use of this artificial intelligence. But I just swore when people was using ChatGPT on social media and all that stuff, in my brain, when I pictured this, I just felt like there would be more pushback. And I don't know, maybe my algorithm hasn't sent me there, but I have not felt or seen a lot of pushback on any of this stuff, essentially. So, if y'all like it, I love it. Have at it. I don't care anymore. Shit, have at it, man. We blindly walk into so much dumb shit, and then we're stuck dealing with the ramifications of it years or decades or even centuries later sometimes. And I often wonder when I read history and stuff, not how did we get here or how did X, Y, and Z got to that point, but often wondered how the infrastructure or the power structure made certain things so normal in that time for the people to not really blow the lid off on what was going on. But that's what they do. That's what the power structure is good at, normalizing things that should be normal. They'll tell you up is down and down is up, straight is right and right is left. That's just this devil's playground. Shane says Trump said Elon hates Sam Altman. Zuckerberg wants to be seen different all of a sudden, and Bezos just got off his yacht and all of a sudden his back hard at work. I know. And let me go on there was something else. Trump just pledged $50 billion to OpenAI. There was something else on my. Let's see if I can get on X. I thought it was funny. Pardon me. Let me get on X. Ooh, y'all lucky. I'm gonna do this on Thursday. I want to talk about the milk carton and the got milk and missing kids on the milk cartons and stuff. There's some stuff going on with that. Also, they trying to say Martin Luther King and Malcolm X was gay. They need to stop this shit right now. Stop it dead in their tracks. We we don't need to be tolerating that. The same people, we're gonna let the same people, and this is what happens. You know, we ask for the MLK files, we ask for disclosure and all of that stuff, and then they get it and it's redacted, and it's you know, I heard one of those files is like 5,000 pages or something fucking crazy. So they just do bullshit. They just do bullshit. They saying Malcolm. Now we know Malcolm was a little bit of a freak guy. Not Malcolm. Martin was a little. He got, you know, we know Martin like women. Let me see. Nah, man, I had it on here, bruh. I had it on here. Was it about Jeff Bezos? Essentially, it's like Shane said earlier: is get down or lay down. Nobody's talking about Elon and the sign no more. Nobody's talking about TikTok no more. Hell, nobody's talking about the fires no more. But you know, we cover this every episode on just how fast the news cycle goes. Shane said, "Laugh my ass off." See, I don't. Elon said, "Mega." I'm not gonna be able to find it, and I'm salty, bruh. I thought I saved it. I need to do a better job at making sure I retweet and save certain shit that I wanted to bring up. Can y'all hear this? Shane, can you hear this? Can anybody hear this? All right. Okay, nobody can hear that. Nobody can hear that. Okay, a couple things before I get off here. This is just a little brief episode. I'll be back on Thursday. So we got an Eagles and Kansas City Super Bowl this year. Now, if you guys been following me, I've had the Eagles going the distance for a long time this year, probably the whole way. But I had Eagles versus the Baltimore Ravens. I thought we was going to get a blackety black Super Bowl. I thought we was going to get Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley versus Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I thought it was going to be smacking. But, you know, they go ahead and give us the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, and everybody's acting like their mom took spaghetti off the fucking table and gave them SpaghettiOs or something. Everybody's acting like nobody wants to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl no more all of a sudden. I don't know what's up with that. And I get it. You know, winning, you know, it's all par for the course. You know, Shane says my history. You win so much, or, you know, what's the quote about the villain? Live long enough to watch the villain become the hero, or hero become the villain, whatever. Yada, yada, yada. That's what's going on with Mahomes, right? Mahomes is winning so much that people are starting to hate his guts. Now, there is something to be said about. There is something to be said. I do agree. I have to agree. There is something to be said about this fucking Taylor Swift situation. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna go there, but I'm going there. Okay, his team has barely lost anything since Taylor Swift has been in the picture. And I'm getting so sick. I don't know about you guys. I'm getting so sick of Taylor Swift. So sick of Taylor Swift. I ain't seen a Swiftie cam all season. Shit. I have. There's just no way. She is the poster girl for mediocrity, just all across the board, just mediocrity. Her music, her team, her promo, her gimmicks, all of that. And I don't care. Yeah, Kobe co-signed her, Kendrick co-signed. I don't give a fuck. She's mediocre. She's mediocre. Her biggest co-sign out there was called Kanye fucking West. And she still owes that man money, if you ask me. But this ain't about her. We'll see her for another week. Super Bowl is next week, not this Sunday, but the Sunday after that. Now, we do know, what we do know is Mr. Kendrick Lamar is performing at the Super Bowl halftime. And that's all I care about. I think we're going to actually get a good game. We'll probably get a good game. Eagles and Chiefs rematch is kind of crazy to me. The Chiefs now have San Francisco twice. They beat them twice. The Buccaneers Super Bowl, and then the Eagles twice, right? I think those are their 5 Super Bowl appearances. Patrick Mahomes has a chance of going 4-1 so far in the Super Bowl. 4 Super Bowl rings already at this junction in his career is absolutely insane. But I think it's really weird that either way the cards have fell or whatever, but we got 2 San Francisco matchups and then 2 Philadelphia Eagles matchups with Patty Mahomes. I mean, come on, I think they should have shook the table a little bit. I wish we could have got another matchup, but like I was telling people all year long out in the NFC, I just didn't see nobody coming out the NFC other than the Eagles. I really did not. Cowboys is full of trash. Buccaneers is trash. Lions, I just don't believe in the Lions. I'll never believe in your team if it's led by Jared Goff. Matt Stafford and the Rams, I just think the magic's not there no more. I just don't feel magic. Vikings, pretenders. I don't even think Seahawks, yeah, right. Falcons, sorry, Shane, but like we knew they weren't winning the Super Bowl. I'm not throwing disses or anything like that. I'm just saying they're not Super Bowl contenders. So I just didn't see there's just no way that there's any other team other than the Eagles. I don't even think any other team in the NFC is really Super Bowl worthy. Oh, and then I mean, I definitely didn't foresee the Washington Generals or whatever their name is, Commanders, the Washington Commanders. I definitely didn't see that. But shout out to what's the quarterback that looks like RG3 or plays like RG3? Washington's quarterback. I'm having a brain fart. Shout out to him. He said Kobe was his favorite athlete. Yeah, Jaden McDaniels or whatever. Yeah, shout out to him. He's nice. He's nice. I got to see year 2. And with him, I got to see year 3 because I know the NFL and the NFL media and media in general has a terrible habit of Jaden Daniels. Yeah, has a terrible habit of building a black superstar quarterback just to tear them down in a few years. So we'll see if he lasts the distance. Now, Lamar and Jalen Hurts and them have lasted this. I mean, Lamar probably going to win MVP again. Another great year, folded in the playoffs per usual. But he's not the backlash isn't loud enough really with Lamar at this junction to me. But I just mean players like, Cam Newton, like we've seen it, RG3, Cam Newton, yada yada yada. List goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So we'll see these players. I mean, does anybody remember Cam Newton's year? Back, I think in 2015, 2016 or so. Cam Newton had an absolutely unstoppable year. That same quarterback that looked like unstoppable, we were calling him Superman. He was nicknamed Superman. Is an afterthought in the NFL lore, like an absolute afterthought. Like nobody's even blinking. Nobody references the season. No one talks about it. They act like it never happened. I remember RG3's rookie year, he was killing. So for Jaden Daniels, we have to see. I think that it still has to be out. The jury's still out on him. I'm not saying from what I see, what my eyes see, damn good player, damn good baller. Because I just mean him as a athlete in general. I could see that he has some of the dynamics and stuff. A little bit of weird dynamics with the whole situation with his mama, talking about girls not. She. I don't know. We know a lot of mamas to be like that. Maybe she's protecting them. Maybe she actually is protecting him. We don't want another Travis Hunter situation. We do know that. So Shane said, laugh my ass off. What did she say? I didn't see that. His mom was just basically like, guarding the coup. She was just like, she was definitely cock blocking. She was just like, nah, none of these bitches is worthy of my son. And they just want him for one thing. And I'm like, she's like, I'm his manager. I don't know. She's involved in his affairs, and she one of them black. She like, yeah, I know that type of mama. So we'll see how that transpires. And I don't want to use my platform to even throw that out in the air and give any of you other fuckers out there any ideas to start slandering him. And I'm only saying that because he's from Southern California and he shouted out Kobe. Also, rest in peace to Kobe and Gigi. The 5th year anniversary. And happy birthday to my brother Shane. But the 5th year anniversary of their tragic passing was just this past weekend. Shout out to them. Their legacy continues to permeate through our culture and all cultures, all walks of life throughout this world. I think I seen another mural out in like Japan or something, or Venice, somewhere beautiful out by some courts. A picture of Kobe and Gigi. So yeah, shout out to them and the rest of the members of passengers and stuff of that helicopter that went down that tragic day. But yeah, Mr. Lamar's halftime performance. What do we suspect for Mr. Lamar's halftime performance? I think I've saved a lot of my energy. I've saved a lot of my time and effort. I haven't really expounded on it and stuff. And I'm going to go a little bit more in detail probably on Thursday. But listen, guys. Shane says for him to go Super Saiyan God mode. And that is exactly true. But I just don't think people really understand who we have in our midst right now. Like, we do understand that this is the first rapper to even chart in this territory. We know Dr. Dre, 50, Kendrick, Eminem, and all that did that shit, but a solo halftime performance. And I really don't think people understand the real repertoire that this man possesses in his performance ability. Now, my brain has to go through a million different scenarios for me to be prepared and kind of, in my brain, at least I can go through these. So that way, if it happens in real life, I've already kind of worked through it in my brain. But, Kendrick has put on masterclass after masterclass in his performance career, right? But not only that, he's had a flawless year in execution, especially during the beef and the battle. I mean, the chess moves, and we got all that. At some point, there has to be a mistake made, right? There has to be a mistake made. And is it possible that we get a nip slip at the Super Bowl like Janet Jackson? I just want to ask you guys. Is it possible we get a situation like that? Does his mic cut out? Does he trip over some wires? I seen an ad on Twitter, on X a few weeks ago. I almost signed up for it, but they was looking for a whole bunch of staff members to be not the backup dancers or anything like that, but the people that help build the set and when he's changing clothes or changing the set in the middle of his performance, running and grabbing the speaker box off the thing and that type of shit. They were hiring people and taking applications for that position just a few weeks ago. So I was thinking, damn, that's kind of alarming to me that they wouldn't have that kind of all the way situated there. And I don't like the accessibility of having random people that might. I don't like that accessibility of having random people having that amount of access to Kendrick and this performance. What if it's a Drake fan that gets his way up there and fucks up the whole performance? Like, what if that happens? So now I don't think, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting on Kendrick giving, not just if everything goes as planned, guys, Kendrick is going to send an AGAT blitz. His number one quality that he possesses is he's a showstopper. He's a showstopper, and he is king. Drake even has admitted it. He's just really great at creating moments. Mustard! He's just really good at creating moments. And those moments like get buried into your consciousness, so you can never forget when he created that moment. Hence AI, control verse, surprise album drops, just certain things he's done in his career all throughout has been creating buzz moments, and he hits on impact greater than any rapper in my lifetime. Like when Kendrick does come, because he uses the art of reclusivity so much that when he does drop or do shit, it feels like an atomic bomb has set off the culture. Anytime Kendrick is outside, he moves our culture significantly, like big time. So I'm expecting, nonetheless, we had the pop-out show this year. That was brilliant. Obviously, he don't got 4.5 hours or 4 hours to put on a whole set like he did at the pop-out show. He has 12 to 15 minutes, I believe, is going to be the Super Bowl. I think we'll get a medley of 7 to 8 songs. I don't even know what this list is, but I do hope he performs Hey Now. Hey Now. Hey Now has been, it's picking up a lot of steam lately. Picking up a lot of steam. They've interviewed Mustard on the Hey Now situation. And Kendrick has said something about feeling like Goku with the TV off. But with the Hey Now song, Mustard said he sent that to YG. He sent it to somebody else, and they were just like, what the fuck? Oh, Quavo or somebody. And was like, what do you want me to do? Whisper on this shit? And he was just like, yeah, he just had this idea. And I had it too. But when you hear Hey Now, I just hear, this is what I hear when I Hey Now. Hey, Lord Mama, let me whisper in your ear. Tell you something that you might like to hear. You got a sexy hoe, and your ass looks soft. Mind if I touch it? Let me see if it's soft. I hear the Yin Yang Twins. Wait till you see my dick. Like damn. And he said when he gave it to Kendrick immediately he didn't even have to tell him. Kendrick kind of felt that from the beat, and he created that. So anyways, I definitely want him to perform Hey Now. I love Hey Now. I wonder how he's going to do it, because I kind of hear that song and I think like LA, I think West Coast strip club. I could see it. Obviously, SZA's going to be out there with him. Shout out to SZA. She's been holding down the fort all year long. They're going to do All the Stars and probably Luther. We'll get the question that everybody's wondering is, do we get Not Like Us? And I'm going to tell y'all, if Kendrick is the king of moments, lawsuit or not, Kendrick's going to perform Not Like Us. He may have the crowd sing it. He may do it in Creole. He may have a band do it. He may have Michael Jackson come out of his grave to dance to it. But he's going to perform that record. Or, I got a buddy out there that said this. Knowing Kendrick, the Gemini, Kendrick, there's a side of Kendrick that he could just ignore it all. I could see both. He could just ignore it all. He could just literally ignore it all. Shane says, drop a new verse. I thought about that on the Not Like Us, like a Not Like Us remix. I thought about that too. Like do a little posse cut or something with TDE or something and drop a new verse. And then that way you can still perform the part that the crowd's going to sing. They not like us. They not like us. So yeah, I could definitely see that. He would have to kind of get that in motion like this Friday or this week. He would have to drop that record, I think. But I could see a case where it's going to be either or. He's going to overdo it and take it to the max, or he's going to ignore Drake. He could start. Me and my homie was talking about this, and I could see Kendrick doing this. Now that he did what he always wanted to do and catapult. Thank you, Drake. Off the Heezy. I'm out of here. Pew! I'm out of here. And all your fans and everybody's just like, yeah, bum ass nigga couldn't get a hit. Kendrick don't give a fuck like that. Yep, opportunist. Boom. But we out of here. Boom. I could see Kendrick completely ignoring Drake from here on out and driving Drake up a wall. Now Drake is just swinging. Now Drake is swinging at the air. Lawsuits and all this shit. Now Drake looks like the lame one. Now Drake looks like the little bro. If Kendrick just completely starts ignoring him. So we'll see how this goes. We'll definitely see how this goes. Is there anything else? Euphoria at the Super Bowl? Too long. Euphoria is way too long. I don't even think. I think the question needs to be also: Do we hear like that at the Super Bowl? Do we hear like that at the Super Bowl? He said no DNA is too damn long. And did nobody say no shit? Nobody say that about no DNA. He is gonna perform DNA. You can book that. You can go ahead and book that. He's performing DNA. Go ahead and book that. It's gonna be explosive. I just wonder what he's gonna do. He's gonna put slime all on the crowd like mustard. Is it gonna fall out? I think mustard might fall out the season, the sky, and spray on everybody. He's gonna do something so extreme, guys. Like you can book that. You can book that. Oh damn, it was 8 years ago today when Rihanna released Anti. 8 years is fucking crazy, bro. 8 years is crazy. We need to follow up. That shit was fire. Riri, that shit was fire. I got loyalty and royalty. Anything else that we need to cover before I get off of here? We got Patty Mahomes. Oh, I guess I didn't even get predictions. I just talked about the Super Bowl. I had the Eagles winning all year. I don't see the Chiefs three-peating. Now, like, I know you boys got there. I know y'all got there. But, like, can't y'all story be that y'all just got there this year and you know now you're gonna be what 3-2 in the Super Bowl? That's kind of nasty. It's like 3-2 in the Super Bowl. What did Tom start in the Super Bowl? We know he won 3. Tom started 3-2 in the Super Bowl. Tom's first 5 Super Bowls, he went 3-2. He won his first 3 and then he lost his last 2 actually. Mahomes loses. Mahomes starts 3-2 in the Super Bowl. I got the Eagles getting their revenge. I got the score. 22 Eagles. 22 to 17 or 18. Eagles. Yep. I got Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley getting it done this year. Saquon is having a hell of a year, guys. Saquon's having a hell of a year. He needs to put a cap on it by getting the job done and winning him a Super Bowl. That's going to change a lot of conversations. And it changes the world for Jalen Hurts. It buys him a lot more time. It changes the whole entire world for the Eagles. They have now gone to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. And if they go ahead and snatch one Super Bowl in the last 3 years, 2 appearances. Hey, Lamar, you got the MVPs, but Jalen Hurts is getting to the Super Bowl and getting the job done, and I already know y'all's going to kill me. And if Lamar had that team, I don't play those games. I don't care. Get the fucking job done. Get the job done. This is Lord of Lips, and this is episode 24, and guess what? I'm signing out because I'm hungry as fuck. Peace.